two of them. I don't see two of them. I don't know the time when they take come off for us. I don't find out. I don't see them. Now I call my husband and say, I don't see you. I don't see my son. No. I call his senior brother for school. Now I say, I don't see your brother. Oh. Before I know that, they use my son phone till they shout me. They use and shout the papa. They use and shout my husband brother. They use and shout the brother. Say, Mo will bring money come. Mo bring money come.
This story is actually trending on TikTok right now about a woman named Sandra who came out to tell her story about her son named Emilian, who was killed by her nephew, whom I assume should be around 19-20 years, kind of an adult. So, according to Mrs. Sandra, she said earlier this year her aunt reached out to her and pleaded with her to allow her nephew, which is this boy, to come stay with her, and stay with her in Benin and learn handwork. Her aunt wanted her son to learn handwork, and she didn't hesitate because she grew up with her aunt when she was young, and also she was actually living with just she and her two sons. And her husband is kind of a person that goes out for work, he's not always around, so she didn't have any issues staying with him. So she accepted him coming to stay with him whenever knew there would be something bad that would come out of it. Eventually, her nephew came over and started staying with her. But guess what? Within 1 month, her nephew stole her money. Not just his little money, but 100,000 naira, according to the woman. She said her nephew stole 100,000 naira, but she didn't send him packing. Actually, she wanted to send him back to her aunt, but according to her aunt came and started pleading and begging and pleading that she shouldn't be angry, this, that, this. And when he started remembering what her aunt had done for her and others, so she allowed the boy to stay with her. To me, I think this is the red flag she needed to chase her nephew back to where he came from. But no, the mother of the nephew pleaded and she allowed him to continue staying. And guess what? He continued staying from that time till this September. And this September was when he carried out his evil plan. It all happened on September 18, 2025, when Mrs. Sandra was asleep. Her nephew took her son, her 12 years old Emilian, out of the house away. And when Mrs. Sandra woke up, she couldn't find her son and she couldn't even find her nephew. The both of them were nowhere to be found. And this was when she started looking for them everywhere, and she couldn't find them. And eventually they started tracing the phone of her nephew. They traced the phone and found, and noticed the phone was in, and found the phone in his mother's compound. That's the auntie that sent Emilian to, that sent the auntie that sent her son to stay with her. They traced that phone to her auntie's house, that is her nephew's house. That was where they traced that phone. And they involved the police, and the police started making their investigation, and they noticed that Emilian was kidnapped, because while they were in search of Emilian, they were also sending text messages to her phone saying that she paid this amount of money, this, that, and this, and that was how she knew that her son has been kidnapped. According to Mrs. Sandra, when the kidnappers were calling and asking her for money, they told her to pay the sum of 800,000 naira, but she requested to speak with her son first before she can pay the money. But they told her that her son was asleep. But guess what? All this while, her son was already dead. They have already tied him and even tied him and this, that. But guess what? What bothers me and what keeps me wondering is that things like this doesn't happen without any sign. At least you should have seen something that shows. You see the case of that 100,000 naira that boy stole, which is like a red flag for her to know that yes. And you can't just bring someone your relative or this to come and stay with you without the person showing any sign of. Is it possible for the person to just commit an act without giving you any sign at all for you to understand that there is something or he has a plan? But at least if he hasn't given her any sign, at least the sign of him alone stealing 100,000 naira within 1 month of him staying there already shows that he is not the kind of person she should keep in her house, right? But she still continue keeping him in her house, and that led to this. The video is all over TikTok and even in Mrs. Sandra's page. And if you go to her page, you see her complaining and saying all sorts of things. She was even saying that before this boy, when she wanted to start housing this boy, when the boy wanted to come over and start staying with her, so many other relatives warned her about accepting the boy, warning her not to accept the boy, that the boy was this, that, and that was supposed to be the first red flag. But she paid deaf ears to them and still accepted him. And when he stole her money, she still continued housing him. That alone was a red flag. And she also said in some other videos that the boy was always talking about how he was dreaming of getting big cars, big house, this, that, like he was having a big dream. She never knew that all those dreams she was having was, him planning on using her son. He was actually planning on using her son to get those dreams. That was what was in his mind. But she was thinking maybe he was, thinking of how to better his future. He wants to be this, but she never knew he was the kind of person that wants quick money and fast money illegally. It is unclear, like we are not certain about how the status of the case is. According to her and others, the boys have been arrested. Both her nephew and his friends who were involved in the bad act has been arrested. And according to her, she says she filmed them in the station, which we are clearly seeing. But the police warned her that she should not post it online. That was what she said. Like she should even delete the video she made about those criminals, and that's very, very wrong. Why would the Nigerian police be telling her not to post it online? A video you made about people who did you wrong that are supposed to put out there, because if the police are beginning to say you shouldn't post it online, that probably they want to end the case. They don't want to fight for your justice. They just want to do it cover up, and this is how the police in Edo State, Benin City, that are doing this, saying that she shouldn't post it online, this and that. Something that she's supposed to post out, other people will see and even learn from her story, just like so many of us would have learned. So those things are not actually good for the police to say you shouldn't post it online. That's very wrong, right? It is. So this is actually what happened to this woman. This is her story, and thank you for watching this story. And I beg all of you to be very, very clear about whosoever is staying with you. Be observant and know the kind of person you are housing, for you to know this person should continue, not until it has gotten out of hand and you'll be thinking of chasing the person, or sometimes the person will end in the prison. Even if that guy has been arrested, well, even if he's sentenced to anything that they sentence him to, that isn't going to bring back the life of Emilian. His life is gone and he has gone. Nothing can turn back the hands of the clock. This is a very painful and sad story, and to me I feel so unhappy. Like I feel so devastated. It pains me. Like a 12 years old boy, think of it. Why are people having this kind of mind? This is very bad. This is not good. This is very wrong. Sometimes you start imagining the kind of mind that people has, but literally what has happened has happened. But what we are going to do now is try as much as possible to avoid it happening further, you understand, in the future. Thank you for watching this video. I remain your boy Travis. Please like this video, share it so that other people can see and learn from this story, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.